The Anson Bay Restoration Project by Rebecca Pearce. Anson Bay is a site of conservation significance, located 130 kilometres southwest of Darwin. It includes tidal flats and coastal floodplains. For this story, the important floodplain is the Reynolds Daly, one of the largest floodplains in the Northern Territory, subject to inundation in the wet season and supporting numerous waterbird breeding colonies and internationally significant numbers of magpie geese and wandering whistling ducks. This story is about the station Labelle Downs, bordering Litchfield National Park in the east where the Reynolds headwaters rise, extending along the length of the Reynolds to the sea. The dominant land management issues is control of mimosa pigra and feral pigs. Early in 2010, R.M. Williams Agricultural Holdings purchased Labelle. At the time, the floodplains were inundated, there were 30,000 head of cattle on the high ground, and all energy was being put into a handover muster. However, Greening Australia were on hand and gave significant assistance on environmental management planning, specifically the Anson Bay Restoration Project, a 3-year project targeting fire, ferals and weeds, capacity building the adjacent stations and creating a regional conservation action plan, and critically, match funding was obtained under the Fed's Caring for Our Country programme. By now, Ag Holdings was very aware of the problems of mimosa, fires and pigs. This wasn't just an environmental programme, this was a fight for the floodplains. The first thing were the project foundations. Tony Schultz on board as project coordinator. Then getting a team out on the ground to map 300 sites to ground truth satellite vegetation mapping. Mapping the mimosa and pig infestations from chopper, quad, horseback, boat and car. Creating fire maps from the NAFI website. Using an aerial photo of the entire property, everyone on the station mapped out how they used the land and their issues and values to build an applied land use map. Next came the environmental management plans. Territory NRM and NRETAS were essential, sharing their knowledge and expertise. First, the property management plan, strategic water points, fencing and other infrastructure to improve cattle operations, use and condition of the land. Next, the fire management plan, chemical and graded fire breaks, mosaic burning. The feral animal management plan, aerial shooting and ground trapping whenever practical, effective and affordable. The weed management plan was the most difficult, most expensive and most time consuming as well as time critical. Best practice says start in the headwaters and work down the watercourse on foot and quad with hand sprayers. The cattlemen, however, wanted to spray the largest area possible and get it back to pasture, spraying from fixed wing and choppers at the centre of the infestation. But how to avoid reinfestation from the headwaters that hadn't all been treated? And then, how to treat the sprayed areas to encourage regrowth of pasture to smother out the new seed? Should the new fire trial technique be tested? By late in year 2, field days were constructive and a good forum for everyone to learn, meet and chew things over, including stakes. The last target was the most difficult, landscape scale restoration. By now there was a good regional group. What was needed was not increased knowledge and skills, but how to address the fact that NRM issues were a financial drain. Next door, the Finniss River floodplain is also of international conservation significance. So the Finniss Reynolds catchment group was formed, an area of 500,000 hectares comprising pastoralist, indigenous communities and national parks. A biodiversity fund award of 1.88 million was obtained to take the project forward over 6 years. Match funding allowed landowners to double their efforts against mimosa and pigs, with a catchment coordinator to help the efforts to be strategic and informed. So the take-home message. Projects like Anson Bay can be fun, creative, educational and help to capacity build an area, and government finance can kickstart them. Catchment area and catchment scale is essential, otherwise the neighbours' pigs come in, as do their fires and their weeds. Build on projects. Greening Australia stimulated the Anson Bay Project. The Anson Bay Project generated the Finniss Reynolds Catchment Group, and an end goal of the Finniss Reynolds Catchment Group is that the steering committee will continue. Biological warfare is essential, but not a quick fix. The Northern Territory is only just starting to see some results 12 years after the release of biological control agents against mimosa. And finally, the restoration economy provides employment, adds social and economic value. Embrace it. And if you can get Matty right to shoot your pigs, you're doing well.